All right, family. So in this video, we're going to talk about my wife and her childhood and what she had to deal with growing up. And it's going to be touching because, as you know, many people discuss, the more and more you ask questions about somebody and their childhood, how they grew up, you come to realize why they act the way they are today. And one of the things that attracted me to my wife so much is how she overcame certain difficulties in her life as a child, and how we have a much similar background because it wasn't easy for either one of us. And I'm sure if you're watching this, if you're a human being, you didn't have the perfect upbringing either. You know, very many people speak about, oh, I have the perfect, family. I didn't have that perfect father and that perfect mother and that perfect job and that perfect household. Nobody has that. There's no such thing as a functional family. But we all have a past. And today we're going to delve into my wife's past. And she's not going to tell me because I already know. She's going to be speaking with you guys. So I guess, just tell them. What's your name? Where are you from? What were the struggles?
So this is going to be hard because I'm a very, very private person. I know if you've seen our IGTV before, my husband talks a lot about his past. I never really talk about my past. Only certain people I will talk about my past. So, But today I'm gonna do it.
Took me a long time to get it out of her. So this is big that she's being this vulnerable, sharing it with you guys. But she knows.
Yeah, because a lot of people when they look at me, they think she had a good life.
Yeah.
She looks conceited. She looks like she had everything. But I'm just shy. I'm just quiet. But today I'm gonna talk about my past. So I am from Guatemala. I was born in Izabal, Puerto Barrios. My dad, he's from Guyana, and he met my mom there. They had me. I have 4 other siblings. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's not 4. That's 5. So we're
she don't
6.
even know. When you have that many, you lose track.
So I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. They all live in the States. So when I was growing up, when I was 2 or 3, my mother decided I'm gonna take all my children and migrate to the U.S. illegally. It wasn't my choice, obviously. I was only 2 or 3, but she took us, all of us. I don't remember a thing, but she tells us the stories, and she brought us to Boston. Right. Well, we went into Houston, and then my uncles picked us up and brought us to Boston. Right. That's how I lived in Boston.
Right. And you have to, not to cut in, but just so you don't miss it, and you have to understand, her mother wasn't fleeing, the country of Guatemala because, I just want more money, I want this.
No, she left because everybody that her brothers, she had 12 siblings, but most of them came to the U.S. too for a better life. Everyone comes to the U.S. for a better life.
The land of opportunity.
My grandparents were here. My mother was by herself in Guatemala with all these kids.
Right.
And she said at some point she felt crazy. Like she felt like she was, like she just didn't want to see her kids. I think she had postpartum depression, and she just needed to be with family. So that was her decision. She's seen my uncles leave her kids before in Guatemala, and she saw how they suffered. My uncle and my aunt, they left their kids in Guatemala, and she saw how my cousins suffered from not having their parents there. And she's like, nope, I'm taking all my 5 kids. My little sister at that time, we were 5. My little sister at that time was 2 or 1, almost 2, because we're 2 years apart. So yeah, she brought all of us, and came into the U.S. with all of us, which was very courageous. When I went into school, growing up in Boston, I think we were all like that, all my siblings. Since we come from another country, we always wanted to prove ourselves. Like we wanted to work harder than everybody else. Yeah, it's like we had to learn the language. I mean, I was young, so I learned it quickly. My brother and sister were older, so they learned it too. So I don't if you guys that ever migrated or were immigrant, growing up like I was, we always come to this country and we want to be like better. We want to prove ourselves that we can do just like everyone else.
Just as well as any American-born citizen.
Yeah, so going into school, like I was like always A's and always like the one listening, and like I caught on to everything really quickly. I was so eager to learn. and I wanted more, and I just wanted the opportunity. But when I got as a teenager, I was upset with my mother because, you know, she brought me to the States and I don't want to be here. I was like, if I was in Guatemala, I'm a Guatemalan citizen. Like, I would have had everything, you know. Like, I was upset because I couldn't have what I wanted in school. Like, I didn't have my social. I didn't have, you know, like, I was so upset. Like, I would literally, like, I was always kept to myself. Like, I was like, I don't know why we're here. We would have done better in Guatemala. I was really ungrateful, I think, because my mom was just looking out for us. I mean, now that I'm older, I can say that I was being ungrateful, and I feel kind of like angry at myself. But yeah, I was really angry, like, with that.
And you have to understand, before my wife gets too emotional, you have to understand that, you know, for all of you who are watching this that are, you know, perhaps a citizen of another country, or you're an American-raised citizen, you know, I grew up in a household where I have all the problems in the world, and I'm going to share that with you guys in another video about me. This one's about my wife. But I just want to cut in because I want you guys to understand who are American-raised citizens that didn't have to go through the past that my wife had to go through, where she was, you know, had involuntarily came to this country. She didn't have much of a choice, no option. And growing up, she was angry, she was sad, frustrated with her mother and just the situation. And the reason why is because as an immigrant in this country, you don't have the same opportunities that, say, an American born citizen has. You can't just go and get your license because you wanted one, or a job.
Yeah, so that upset me too, because I would see kids my age that didn't want to work, and I'm like, you know what I would do to work, like, legally, like, you know, like, there's other ways to work, but, you know, and I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Oh, I don't know what I want to do. I have so much ahead of me, you know, my parents want me to go to college, and I'm like, really? Like, you guys take so much for granted because everything's given. Not everyone, but, like, majority in school, I would be so upset. I'm like, you know how much I would give just to have that, and I can't, you know, I can't. Like, I was brought here, you know, not wanting to come here, so that was a struggle for me. But I guess I learned to live with it. Later on in life, I did so well in school. I was in the National Honor Society when I graduated. I had a 4.3 something GPA. All my teachers loved me. I mean, my sister can say that. She's like, they always compare me to you. We were just talking about that today. She's like, they were like, well, Monica would never do that. Monica didn't do that. And I'm like, oh, why do you guys compare me to her? We're two
such a good
people.
girl.
No, it's not. I just was so eager to do so well and to learn, and like, I'll just tell you more about my life later on, but I graduated and I started working and I built myself up from there thanks to my mother and to people that helped me out. I'm really grateful for that, but we'll talk about that later on.
In a different video.
That's my past.
And again, I just want to reemphasize, you know, we're in the land of, you know, opportunity in being in the United States, because you have certain privileges and certain things that you can do. And I'm not saying one country's superior to the other, but growing up in America, there are a lot of opportunities here. And it's, you know, remarkable to see somebody like my wife, who didn't come here, you know, willingly. She didn't grow up with, you know, the social, having the ability to, oh, I feel like I want to get a job at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like, she like she said, she wanted to prove herself. She wanted to have the best life ever. You know, serving Jehovah God and the truth, but also being able to help her mother with the bills and the family. But she couldn't do that because of her situation.
But you know what? One thing that's taught me is that you don't give up. And you just keep working harder. And that teaches you later on in life that, you know, like, I came from nothing. And I have all this thanks to what we worked so hard into Jehovah and everything. 100%. We have all that, but if I lose it, I'll be just fine because I didn't have anything. I came to this country with nothing. I didn't grow up going in a car. We took the bus to the Kingdom Hall. We like took the public transportation everywhere. We would walk at night with all my 5 siblings and my mother at night in Dorchester to go to the meetings.
Not the best area in Boston.
No, but I was fine. We used to play games in the train and I was fine. Like, I love that now I appreciate that, because if
Right.
we don't have a car today, guess what?
You've already been there.
Take an Uber, take a train, take the bus, I'll be fine.
This is nothing new.
But I'm just grateful for that now that I'm older, and
Right.
I'm just happy that we went through that, because we wouldn't be here where we are today.
100%. And this is so beautiful because, like I'm saying, you know, for all of us that complain, man, it's so tough to get a job. Man, I can't get my license. You know, I hate this country. I hate where I'm at. I'm complaining about this. You're complaining about this and this and this as an American citizen. Somebody who was born in this country with a social. It baffles my wife and I to see people on the road while we're driving. And I know we don't know everyone's situation, but a lot of them are, you know, American-born citizens, and they've decided to go down a path in their life of, you know, doing drugs and a variety of different things that ended up on that path of where they're holding a sign and they're, you know, asking for money. But the crazy thing is, my wife came from a place where she had nothing. The system was set up against her for her to lose, so that she doesn't get her license, doesn't get papers, doesn't do well, doesn't get a social, doesn't get a job, you know, goes back to her country. It's not set up so she can win, but she was able to turn that around.
It's just
all on her
I'm
own.
all thankful to my mom.
Right.
She was able to raise 5, now 6 kids, cleaning homes, raised all of us.
Right.
Never had to ask for a dime. Thank you, Jehovah. Never had
Beautiful.
to ask. And she had, you know, she had it all. She saved money.
Going
and she
through the same
taught
struggle.
me. She taught me, yeah. And how could not one person take care of themselves and you're asking for money? Like, it
Right.
just bothers me. But I'm grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for all that. She raised us well, cleaning homes. When I had my vacation, I used to be like, Mom, I love cleaning, by the way.
Yeah.
I used to be like, Mom, I'm going to go clean houses with you. She's like, really? I have to force the other sister to go with me. I'm like, I love to clean. And so all that taught me
Right.
that I can do good, and I'll work in anything. I could just move forward no matter
Right.
what.
Right.
Yeah.
So if hopefully if you weren't born in this country and you had the same situation as my wife, you're able to relate to that. And if you are still struggling, you know, getting your papers, getting this, getting your social, your license, look, you can do it 100%. If she could do it, you know, her you know, whole family, you know, friends, you can do it too. Just never give up. You got to make sure that you're focusing on the positive things. And no matter what, you know, things will turn out well for you. And if you're watching this and you're an American citizen, then stop complaining. Because after I met my wife, I prayed to Jehovah for forgiveness for every single time I complained about, the jobs, I can't get this, my license, and complaining about this and this and that. When I have all the opportunities presented in front of me, while there's people like my wife who had to struggle 10 times more and for a million different reasons, but she was still able to take advantage of the opportunities and, you know,
That's
push through the pain. So there's a little past of my wife. We want to keep this, well, not necessarily. We don't want to keep it short. We're willing to keep it as long as we're going. But
we're used to the IGTV where it's 10 minutes, and he's like, you need to
cut it. No. We're gonna have to end. No, lengthily run YouTube now. But all right, family, we love you. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe,
Yes.
and we'll talk to you soon.